What is good, rookies? I'm going to try and get through this as quickly as we can because we all know that it was absolute carnage this round. I'm sure we've all experienced it. Hopefully, you guys dodged some bullets. We did not. We took some big hits. But at the end of the day, a quick snapshot 2-1-3-4, not a great score, not the worst. So, very much on par with the rest of the comp. Won 15 of our 17 league wins, which aren't really that important to us. The important factor is this number is green. Even if it is only by 1,600, we're in the top 20,000, we're in the top 11%, which is an improvement from last week from the top 12%. That's all we care about. Ugh, I don't want to spend too much time reliving the carnage. Not going to go too far in depth into our team review. I'm sure you guys have these players in your team and you've self-criticized these players yourself. But we're going to go through the bottom here, which is just our round review of our spuds and heroes. So absolute spuds of the team. We had Green with the weak ankles. I didn't see him go down. I wasn't paying attention to the start of the game until I started seeing Green on 5 for the whole quarter. I was like, what the fuck has happened here? Get stronger ankles. He should be okay. I think they did scans. I think he's fine. There's no structural damage. I think he's going to be a test to play in the upcoming round. So hopefully he is fit to play and there's no niggles or anything like that that are going to get in the way of him performing at the level that we need him to. But is definitely something to keep an eye on. Sheezel. Now, this spud isn't Sheezel himself. I'd say it's more Clarko because he's changed their roles. Like him and Bevo were just swinging magnets on a board and just seeing what works. And it's just not good. Like, it's not good for the team, for one. Like, you clearly have Shizzle, who was a much better performer in the back line, versus, obviously, like, Bukurch is doing very well in defense. So you'd keep him. You got to find a different home for Fisher. Like, you don't put Fisher in defense for Sheezel. I don't think that works. Like, Sheezel could adjust to the role and then pick it back up. That could definitely be an option. I'm not sure, but Sheezel and Clarko, spuds. And Darcy. But this could also lead into Bevo as well. And it's these two teams with coaches where they're just swinging magnets on a board at the moment, where it's really affecting, obviously, Supercoach scores, but also just like, from what I can see online already, Bulldogs, supporters want Bevo's head. They are sick of him. So we might see a new Western Bulldogs coach very, very shortly. It's just nothing's working out. So that's an unfortunate. I was hoping Darcy would, do very, very well, help reset his cash gen, and get to a 400 mark. I don't see that happening. He's got a break even of 42. If he has another 88 game or 80-ish game, like, it's fine. It's just, do we trust him to do that? We're going to chat about the rookies in a minute. But the heroes, Dacos, 150. Great. Bond, 142. Amazing. We've had some wrong. He did a 137. Even with the knee strap. I know some people were concerned. I was concerned. Hence why there's no VC or C options on him. And then we had Wilson, who single-handedly saved our forward line and our score, I think. Just really, really good. Has sparked his cash gen up again. But is also providing points on field, which is amazing. So I think anyone is happy to field Wilson. Obviously outside of a premo, but if you're holding on to those last few spots, Wilson is a great option to field. Something to mention as well, obviously our VC and C options this week were very short-sighted and just locked into Saturday. I saw carnage happen. I pretty much only bet on people choosing Gorn, which is very, very silly and short-sighted. I had great options in Sarong and Bont, the captain, and I would have gained an extra 40-odd points on the board, which could have helped with our rankings. We only jumped up 1,600, placings, but we had a really big missed opportunity to really deal some damage this week, which, we kind of knew going into that with it, dropping Grundy, of course, for Martin, which that in itself wasn't a great point differential because we needed this cash to really make things happen this week. But Jackson did okay, 86, better than last week. Darcy was subbed off, 5, and of all people. So we're seeing some really interesting things happen at Freo, where Darcy isn't going to be around as often as people thought. So Jackson was definitely a good hold. Hopefully he can keep bringing it back together and get some tons again. And very interesting about the 5 subs. So we're seeing, like, obviously Elliot Yeo went down with a groin strain, which we're still yet to get more information on. It was just carnage this week. Absolute carnage for, like, 5 for starting sub, and then coming in with, I think he only scored like a 17, something very, very low. Good for us because his price is going to drop, but also raises concern about how often he's going to be rested, and do that sort of stuff, considering he's been in really good form. Yeah. And then we also look, I think this week it's just been a lot of mismanagement of injury. Like, Brisbane had like 3 players go down, one before the game even kicked off. It's just, yeah, a very, very mismanaged full carnage round for footy. So I'm glad we've got money in the bank to make some plays, make some moves, because some people are going to have to be on damage control this coming round, which is good for us. Again, leaves opportunity on the field to get some adjustments in. But we're going to quickly optimize and quickly talk about our early trades. So I think the easiest trade to look at is Roberts to Ryan. If you don't bring in Ryan this week, you kind of just have to sit on your hands and just accept you're not going to see him in your team for another month unless you want to pay up. Because from memory, I think he's projecting to go very high in price because he's got a very low break even now. Yeah, he's going to do a Heaney and just jump up. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So I think that's locked in. Now, I'm going to boost this week if it means I can bring in 2 more premos. Now, is it the week to bring in premos? So we're going to look at that. We're going to leave that for now. And we're just going to have a quick look. So if we look at just the total points, see what's changed in the average. So we've got Heaney, who 109, not bad. Well, people are expecting a lot more, but this is good for us. His break even should be high still. He could miss it. We could potentially miss this week as well. I don't imagine he's going to change that much from this current price. So I still think we wait 1 more week on Heaney. Rao's going to go down. So he only scored a 65. He's gone down 20k. He's going to lose more money because he's got a higher break even as well. Walsh, I'm glad we did not bring him in. Lachie Neale. He's looking like an option. I was looking at a Brisbane player, more Dunkley than anything for our M8 position. That could still definitely be, a go. There's only, like, he's had 1 bad game where he hasn't turned up. And now he's gone and pulled almost a 170 out of the hat. That's, again, not happening. I don't think ever again. Brisbane were just on something else. We got English, played well. Again, Dunkley, who we've spoken about. Hayes, someone to keep an eye on to pay up for a down option, potentially. Obviously not a cheap one. Who else did we have? Laird played okay. Zorko. These forward options are just fucking yo-yos. Really frustrating. You got 105, then ton, then I think they learnt their lesson here with their role change. Because I think they had McKenna come into the back line and then they sent Zorko forward. Worked out that didn't work. He comes back into his normal role and they just fucking dominate. So Zorko is kind of back on the talks of, was there something good here? If we actually do this way, that we'll get a better idea of this round. Parrish, I think we kind of missed the boat on this. Considering we have Martin and Merritt, I think we don't bring in Parrish. Newman did very, very well. Saligo could be an option too. His average is only 88, but he seems to be doing very, very well at the moment. He obviously has his low games, but outside of that, he's maintaining a very, very good floor. If we ignore the start, the very big talk of the town is going to be Ollie. Good old Clary. Because his break even is now 48. He's only going to go back up in price. He pulls a 141 out. This is going to be one to look at for sure. Could be our final MA position instead of Petrarca because Petrarca is looking questionable. Dylan Moore, great forward option, absolutely killed it. At that price, I mean, what you're looking at that, you're looking at Zorko, you pay up a little bit more. I'd be more inclined to go more. You got a younger player who's got some good CBA attendance. Until we look at the DFS stats, it's going to be questionable about who we bring in. We could go slightly down to McKercher if he's going to maintain that role. Sinclair's a good option to look at if he's back in form. Even May has been playing very well, but all this is to consider the buy structure as well and what works with your team. But he's been doing very, very well. Who else is worth looking at? Bailey Dale, those who brought him in as a value pick, well done. Bevo scared me. Just leave it at that. We could have brought him in last week, but Bevo was scared the crap out of me about him. Holmes could be a potential mix, a pick. He's obviously gone up. He's going to keep going up. Obviously, with Dangerfield out, there's just room at Geelong for this kid to really start making some good money. It's providing some good scores. Like his floor is 84. Like we've seen what can happen with Carnage. Now I do have these stats here as well, which we'll quickly have a look at. Is there anyone else? Heaney 109. He's got like a 133 break even coming up, so I think we can wait on him. Earl Marshall come back, just fine. I mean, 107's not great, but could be a lot worse considering where we were looking last week. Stewart 104. I want to look into this a little bit more. He was our target to bring in, and I think he'll be fine. It's just concerning about, because obviously his age is getting there. Pretty sure we have where were we? Geelong in Melbourne. Stewart, 13 kick-ins. Oh, kick sample, yes. So it's not a bad stat line. Time on ground, 88%. It's good. It's good. But do we get Holmes in instead? Tricky. Because we got Holmes there, who's got the DPP benefit. He is cheaper. And what's his 3-round average? 3-round average is 106. Now, we're obviously including Stewart's sub game due to his concussion that he's averaging lower, but I think his ceiling's a lot higher. Like we got one more week of a bad score. And he's coming up against Port. So we could wait a week on Stewart. There's just too many moving pieces. And do we need to go on potential damage control? There's a lot of options to consider here, but with that all said, guys, that's our early thoughts when it comes to trades. Look out for our video tomorrow on Tuesday for our trade talks. We're going to be looking at our games in depth. We're going to look at DFS, look at some CBS attendance, all that fun shit. Get really nitty gritty with the analytics of what we want to do, because I think we need to be paying a lot more attention to what we're doing because it's damaging us immensely. But at this stage, we assume Green's playing. We're fielding one rookie in defense, one rookie in mid, and then it's just our forward line that's in fucking shambles. We'd love that. But honestly, guys, let me know how you guys went. Let me know what score you got. Did your trade plans work out? Did they not work out? Did you bring in Green? Because that would have stung. But yeah, with that, guys, I will see you tomorrow for our trade talk. If you have any questions or just want to chat and talk shit about Supercoach and complain about the carnage round that we've just had, by all means, hit me up. As I said, you got the TikTok and the Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, just here. Give me a follow. I appreciate all the subscribers that have come on. We've got like 21 now, which is amazing considering that was like 7 the other week. So I appreciate all the love, all the encouragement. And again, shout out to Supercoach Pro, Godfather, Abs Magic, Shoddy, all, and of course the one guy that I will praise to, and the crew over there is Supercoach with Doctor, and just sword play, that all that whole crew is just doing amazing things. Just really good community. Really glad to even try to be a part of it. Yeah, I appreciate all the views, all the likes, anything, all the comments on TikTok, anything, whatever you want to do. You can talk shit. You can tell me I'm giving nicknames wrong. Educate me. I love learning things. I'm not a fanatic. I'm just a rookie super coach, and I'll see you guys